And we gonna ride a boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into the sunlight.
Good morning, Drive Timers! Welcome to Drive Time with Alec. I'm Alec, and it's a glorious, glorious Wednesday, and I hope you're doing superbulous, because I'm doing good. Anyway, I'm going to talk today to you, which I know that sounds weird, because that's normally about, I guess I'm talking to myself, let's just be honest. Although someone may listen. Couple questions. Two things I want to talk about today, and they came kind of things floating around the universe. Number one, Tom Ashby, he made a great comment. We have the CrossFit Games coming up, and for those of you that are into CrossFit, it is the pinnacle of fitness. It's a pretty cool event. It's a blast. It's freaking awesome to watch these people that are just specimens of the human, condition, just out there doing amazing feats of strength and speed and agility and all that fun stuff, and it's just really cool to watch. So, one of his questions was why do people train for something they're never even going to get close to competing in? Because a lot of us that are desk jockeys, we have chosen to not. That is like a horse dog. Oh my God! I wish I could turn the camera, ride that dog. It's so gigantic. Sorry, I get shiny objects. It's oh, shiny object. I have big problems. So why do people train for something that they'll never get into? If you're going to train for a marathon, there's a 12, Tom's there's a 12-week marathon thing that he's done and all that stuff. The games are so radically different. If you're not willing to dedicate and commit to such a high amount of training and recovery and focus, then you're not even going to get close to getting through the first round. So why do people do it? Well, and this is going to tie into a two-part question, but, I think we all want something to train for. We all want goals in our lives. I think it's a human nature to be I want to do something more than I am. So it's great to be I'm going to compete in sectionals. The Hawthorne effect comes in. You guys know I've talked about that. You act differently if you think people are watching you. And so when you have an objective ahead of you, you will change your habits. It's a great way to trick your body into going to somewhere and achieving a goal that you want to get. Set something that you're going to do. I'm going to do a marathon. I'm going to do a triathlon. I'm going to do this. And then you will automatically start acting differently in order to accomplish that goal, because you don't want to embarrass yourself at the event. You want to be able to finish it. All these other compelling factors force you into changing your habits. It's a really cool tool. It's a great way to cheat yourself, quote. Well, what this ties into that I want to talk about today too is because I keep seeing this crazy stuff around the internets about CrossFit versus P90X, CrossFit versus insanity, CrossFit versus who friggin' cares. So, and then Glassman the other day, who started CrossFit, gets up on the mic and he's on this video and he's like, we're the fittest human beings on the planet and no one can compete against us, and if you think you're fit, come to the CrossFit Games and good luck. I love it. He's such a crazy maniac. So anyway, what's really, really cool about the comparisons unfortunately suck. Elizabeth made this cool comment of why you should do P90X and 5 reasons and why you should do CrossFit, and it was the same exact reasons for each. It was hilarious. So if you don't check her blog out, please do. I'll try to put a link in the description. But my point is, look, the reason that people who are generally fit, because Eric Loera, I think I'd say you pronounce your last name, Eric, my boy, was my brother, had a question who's more fit, and could someone who's P90X do CrossFit, and could they kick CrossFitters' ass, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, all this comes down to one basic thing. When you're competing in the sport of CrossFit, there are factors in there that these other, systems don't incorporate. You don't get to Olympic lift in P90X. You don't. And you're not doing many pull-ups, last time I checked. So, or muscle-ups or any type of advanced gymnastics, really. So if you're going to be a P90X guy and you have the freaking 9-pack abs and you're raw, I do P90X, and then you go to a CrossFit gym and you're oh, we're going to do max cleans today. You're oh, I don't know how to clean. So it's very similar to being a power lifter, right? I'm a power lifter. I'm immensely strong. I have just this, I'm very competent in this area. Oh, we're going to do 400-meter repeats. Oh, that it's not going to be fun. I don't want to do that, and I'm going to suck at it. Or we're going to do muscle-ups. I can't even really do that at all. So my point is, the 10 physical, attributes of CrossFit or fitness, the definition there, as if you don't know what that is, you'll figure it out one day. But, if you got a chink in your armor, you're ill-prepared. And so that's why I think CrossFit's definition of being fit and being a rounded human being and specializing and not specializing is the way human beings, can find real fun in life. It's great to... People that don't like it hate going into their weaknesses. I just totally get it. I mean, I train a ton of people through the gym, and it's like, this is BS. And I'm like, well, you just hate playing in your weaknesses. I understand. I hate them too. But there's something gloriously... God, it's the same turn every day. Is this turn into the blinding God sunlight in my eye. I'm sweating now. Dang it. So... back to my point is, CrossFit prepares you for all that stuff because it's so broad. That's why no one that doesn't do CrossFit will ever be able to really come in and compete at the highest levels. They've got to first come in, and they've got to learn to Olympic lift again. These high-level athletes, these ex-baseball players and stuff that have maybe Olympic lifted a little bit in their training, if they had good training, they have to refresh some of those skills. They probably never done a muscle-up, so they've got to learn that. These incredible athletes can learn those things and can get up to that level, but there's still that initial gap that separates a star athlete from being able to perform in the highest levels of CrossFit. So, P90X, or Insanity, the other thing I want to say about this before I finish up here, the reason those programs suck, in my personal opinion, is they involve no community whatsoever. You're in your frickin' living room. Give me a break. Get out there and touch flesh with other people. It's like, God, why are we so isolationists? That's not right. Maybe that's right. But there's no accountability there. Are you serious? You're not going to be able to show, really push yourself. You're lying to yourself. If you're like, I'm really able to, really get it going in my living room, you're like, yeah, I'm sure. Good morning. So, give me a break, right? No chance. That stuff is so sad in terms of being able to elicit true intensity. You're not going to do it in your living room. Just get honest. God, I hate it. So anyway, that's kind of my point. Nothing really compares to CrossFit because they don't have the broad range that CrossFit brings into their workouts. And so you're not going to have the same experience or the same adaptation unless you're doing that kind of stuff. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's different. It's like, the kipping pull-up's cheating. I'm like, you're dumb. It's just different. It's a different use of my body than just being strict and pulling in my lats. So just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's different. I don't pretend to sit here and claim dead. I'm on a tangent. I'm sorry. I'm parking. Lots of craziness is going on. Look, that's my answers to kind of a broad subject today. If you really want transformation, jump into CrossFit. If you really want to get fit, first of all, just do something. Frickin' start walking is a good start, and you'll start getting more fit. But after that, you want to get really to a high level of functional human effort and experience and endeavors, then CrossFit's the way to go, because it gives you community and all that other fun stuff too. Don't do it in your garage. If you do, invite everybody else in there with you. Get people around you, have fun, have a goal in your life. That's all I got. Have a great day. Talk to you guys tomorrow.